Welcome to the Pitmaster Podcast. We're barbecue competition competitors that aim to share information, advice, tips, and tall tales about our favorite pastime. Head over to thepitmasterpodcast.com for all things Pitmasters, or follow us on your favorite social media platform. And now, here are the hosts of the Pitmaster Podcast, the two-time Grand Champion, SCA World Champion finalist, and barbecue specialist of Smoke Ain't No Joke Barbecue, the Anthony Lujan, and the 24-time Grand and Reserve Grand Champion, Reserve World Grand Champion, Windover High Roller Champion, and the founder of Pitmaster Barbecue Supply Company stores in Utah, the old man himself from Big Johnson's Barbecue, Jesse Johnson.
This is Greg Rempe from the Barbecue Central Show, and you are listening to the Pitmasters Podcast, and they are doing it live.
We'll do it live.
That's right, Bill. I just said that. They're going to do it live.
We'll do it live.
Yes, live. They're going to do it live.
What's up, Pitmasters? We're doing it again on a Tuesday night at our regular scheduled time. Tonight we have
doing it live.
And we're doing it live on time, though, Jesse. We started on time. I think this is the very first one we've done that with. It's usually a few minutes later than expected because of, audio stuff, but it's all good. But, tonight we have Rooster and Graybeard with Barbecue and Bourbon on the show tonight. Looks like they're coming live out of their patio, which looks like a great location and all that cool stuff.
Their content looks really fun. I tell you what, right? I can't wait to interview these fellas.
We got our bourbons poured up. We got to fit in, right? Got to fit in with the crowd.
Okay, what do you got in your Glencairn?
Tonight I have the Woodford Reserve, the ABS, Utah ABS edition. So
nice.
So it's just a limited edition run. It's just Woodford, but
so this is some homemade moonshine from Johnny Golo from Stir and Dirt Racing. He's the guy that owns Stir and Dirt Racing. He makes a whole bunch of moonshine for Halloween Havoc, the last derby of the season, a couple weeks ago, and I was able to snatch away a couple of pints, 2, 3, maybe 4 pints of it.
Are you willing to part with one of those on Saturday at the chili cook-off?
I'll bring you one, and I'll save you one of the apples, because if you eat the apple, it's gonna get you.
That's what I'm talking about. Speaking of the chili cook-off, we have that in less than 4 days.
Got two more signups the last couple of days, another couple of teams, so we're gonna be about 12, 14 chili teams, and it looks like about 10 backyard teams. So
that's awesome. And then for SCA, there's not a whole lot on the West Coast. And same with KCBS, you have Bullhead and then Vegas. Vegas doesn't count because it's sold out.
It's sold out. But what is she calling that competition?
I can't remember. You're asking me to recall my memory. You know how this goes.
That's the biggest thing we got to remember on this podcast. We got to call the contest by the contest names that way people can find it easier. So,
jeez, we're failing. I need to get that dry race.
We're gonna go to Riverdale. We're gonna go Layton. We're gonna go Windover. I'm like, there's names for these, so I know.
Yeah,
I've got to be better at it. So
so do I.
We can be better as a team. How's that?
That works. Hey, so Jesse, I just had a question about some Redmond products. Okay. You seem to be a better expert than I am at these products, right?
I know a little bit about them, yeah.
They have an energy, they have hydration, they have humidity, and they have pre-workout. Have you used all 4 of these products, or where are we at on these?
I do a lot of mountain op stuff. So that's because it has some pre-workout and some cognitive stuff, but I really, really like Redmond's Relight. So I'm gonna have to break down and buy some of their other products, because I use pre-workout almost every day. I mean, I'm getting ready for the World Championships powerlifting in Las Vegas in the second weekend of November. Me and my brother we've had a pretty good career in powerlifting, so we both are getting inducted into a Hall of Fame for Wobble, which is I'm super proud of. He and my brother and I, at one point in time, we held just about every record in the 259 class, which is weight category, 275 class, and the 308 class. So that was the first brother team that held those records. We held them for almost a decade.
Wow.
My 259 world record got broken a year and a half, 2 years ago by a 21-year-old out of Brazil. And then I can't remember who broke my brother's 308 class, but I still own the 275 class, which I'm light years away from that weight class anymore.
Right.
We're going to be competing about 242. Both of me and my brother competed at 242 this year. This is the first time we've ever competed that light. So
nice. Well, the Relight, I've tried the hydration, and what I like about the hydration that it doesn't just come in, a couple flavors. We got mango, strawberry lemonade, pina colada, watermelon lime, mixed berry, lemon lime, and for the crazy folks, unflavored.
yeah,
It's probably just a little
something's
salty.
wrong with those people,
Yeah.
dude. But I love the
Yeah.
watermelon. It is so good.
There is nothing that will really bring me back from a competition other than this product. Like literally, it's on the saltier side. We discussed that, but you rebound quickly. If you need hydration quickly, it works.
You take a single bottle of water, it doubles it up into 2 bottles of water for your hydration purposes. So it really gets you hydrated. I mean, when we go to a demolition derby and it's hot outside, I make the girls that are running things. I said, okay, give me your bottles of water. And I put a tube of Relight in them. And I'm like, okay, now you guys are going to be good for the show. So,
right. Maybe we can talk about Rooster and Graybeard. If they get too much bourbon, that this Relight will bring them back around the next day.
Right.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm going to break out a special bottle I haven't opened before. I'm a huge High West fan in Utah.
Right.
Probably the best whiskey in the Western United States, I think, and obviously the best in Utah. So I'm gonna break out a new bottle that I've never tried before for the boys, and we'll share a little whiskey with them. You'll share your whiskey, and I'm gonna drink some more of that moonshine.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't know if you put in for allocations, but I did not draw, and there was something like 100 and something bottles available for allocation. And
I do every time. It's like one of these days, I'm gonna knock on wood. I want a bottle of Pappy's, because I've had it. It's really good, but if we can get it for market prices, not market prices, but store prices, it's not a bad buy. From
what I've heard, I just want to get my hands on the 25 so I could resell that. But the thing is from what I've heard is after they switched, soon as Weller took over everything, that's all really similar. Anyways, we can ask these guys on the backside, but just from what I heard, the quality is not there anymore like it used to be. Obviously, things change. They say a master distiller will only see 2 batches of his product in his lifetime. Wow. So,
well, the boys up in Boise from Crooked Pigs, they've threatened me with trading me out a couple of series of the Blantons.
Okay.
I got a bottle of Blantons from Parrot Head, John Neagle from up in the Dakotas. He brings me down, a couple of bottles for his entry fee for the Norute Barbecue Championship. So,
do you really like it though? Do you really like it, or is it just more of a popular thing just because?
Well, Blanton's you used to be able to grab off the top shelf in Utah, but it's gone to an allocation now, and then you can get Eagle Rare once in a while, which is super smooth. It's one of my wife's favorites. She also loves Whistle Pig, and I know that's Diva Q, one of Diva Q's favorite things, but I'm a High West guy. I really am.
Just give me a bottle of Angel's Envy, I'll be good.
Or
Buffalo Trace,
Buffalo Trace, Angel Envy.
There's bottles to buy and put on the shelf.
What is Craig's?
But I'm buying to drink. Okay,
so Elijah Craig. That's the other one. That's Elijah Craig. If you want something a little bit spicy.
Yeah, Elijah Craig's very good. But all
right,
I understand.
Let's bring in the experts.
Yeah, let's just bring in the experts, right?
We're talking smack. They're going to break out. So the other thing, I went to try to find a bottle of 15 Stars in Utah because they said it was available. I had the girl at the liquor store look it up, and she said it's not available in Utah. So I'm getting some misinformation. So hopefully she can. Our booking agent, Miss Crystal, she's such a BA. Right. She's gonna head to Colorado between here and Saturday for the backyard competition. Hopefully she brings me a special bottle.
Me too, Crystal.
No, not you. I'm paying for mine.
Oh, it's fine. You can buy mine too. So, Crystal, if you're listening, just send Jesse the bill. It's fine.
Let's go. Crystal, if you're listening, disregard what Anthony says.
Let's get on with it. Crystal, you know the rules.
We call it Thermapen 1. the first true 1-second cooking thermometer. Its unprecedented speed means Thermapen 1's responsiveness approaches the speed of thought. Because when you're plating the perfect menu or smoking the perfect side of barbecue, you don't have time to think about how your instant read thermometer is accurate to 0.5 degrees in 1 second or less, or how rugged and waterproof it is, or how big, elegant and bright the backlit display is. You'll just know it works, because our perfection powers your perfection. Seek perfection with Thermapen 1.
All right, welcome to the show. Hey, Jesse, I didn't mean to cut you off on that last one. It's just the power of the button, baby.
It's all good, brother.
Rooster and Graybeard from Barbecue and Bourbon are in the house. We were talking bourbon. We might as well just bring in the professionals. How are you guys doing tonight?
We gotta hear their saying. Bring it in, fellas.
Yeah.
What do you guys do? How do you open it up?
That, but we do like a good bourbon.
I'd say I'm a professional drinker.
Yeah.
Barbecue and bourbons, ain't nothing wrong with all that together. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hey, we do it every weekend. Might as well do a YouTube channel on it.
Right. I've got a special bougie glass for because Anthony's super bougie. So I'm gonna try that. This is High West bottled in bond. I've never tasted it before. Well, that smells spicy. You guys said you've had this before, right?
Yes. It's not bad.
Oh, that's tasty.
Nice.
That's got a nice strong kick to it. and it's 100 proof, so I better just have
you might want to throw an ice cube in there.
Two fingers of it.
No ice. You don't want to water that down.
So guys, you guys heard our intro. How do you guys feel about, Pappies and all that stuff? Are you guys like on my side, just buy something to drink and have the small bottle collection just on the wall to just sit there and rot away while you don't get to enjoy it?
Well, we go both ways on that. I have the collection that sits there.
I have the bar that has everything drinkable.
I have a lot of drinkables, but I have a lot that's collectible.
Nice.
If we could get a bottle of Pappies, that would probably sit on the shelf for a few years.
Yeah, I would have to, right?
I'm gonna, if it's the 25, I'm probably gonna sell it. If it's the 15 or 12, I'll probably, crack it and drink it. Why let it sit there? I watch.
If it's Rip Van, then I'm definitely drinking it.
I agree with you. If it's the 15 or the 12, I'm cracking it and opening it and drinking it.
Yeah. Well, if you watch the story about Buffalo Trace, they talk about it, like, how the father of the master brewer, he had a bottle and they were talking about just taking a sip and reselling it. And he's like, no, we brewed it, or we made it. We're going to enjoy it. And once the air gets to it, it's ruined anyway. So might as well just enjoy the whole bottle.
Exactly.
Friends and families. So that's how it is. But let's talk about you guys. We're not here to talk about bourbon. That's your guys' show. That's what we wanted to. Everybody's going to go over and talk about that. But we want to know how you guys got started, how you got into barbecue, and how this whole TikTok and YouTube and all exploded.
I met this guy 4 years ago, and we started barbecuing every weekend, and we love a good bourbon. And he started filming it, and that's how we are where we are at this moment.
The funny thing is, when I met old Graybeard here, he only drank Maker's Mark. That was it.
and I only salt and peppered my meat.
Oh, okay.
Well, those are two good
there's
things.
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong. But this guy has introduced me to so many more flavors and so many more flavors of bourbon that it's unbelievable.
So, Rooster, how did this really start? Graybeard gave us the short version. Give us the long version.
Okay, so this all started.
He'll give me the long version.
When I was 10 years old, down in Texas, watching my granddaddy smoke briskets, drinking Johnny Walker Red Label, and so it grew for me. But then when we did meet, we were getting together every weekend, our families, and we were cooking, smoking, grilling every weekend.
Every weekend.
And we like hunting and fishing together. So, and we were drinking because he loved his Maker's Mark, which I had to get him away from, open his eyes to new stuff. Now, Scotch, I'm still having a hard time getting him in on that. But there's a few that he does like and enjoys greatly.
Only a couple.
Don't let him lie to you. But I said, hey man, you know what? This would be a ton of fun if we're doing it every weekend anyway.
Yeah, we are.
How about we just put a show together and see what we can do with it? And we do it every weekend, and it's tons of fun. We go fishing, we cook our fish.
Well, yeah, we actually went fishing 2 weekends ago.
Yeah,
and it was a blast.
Yeah. What'd you guys go fishing for?
Redfish, black drum,
trouts,
and some speckled trout. But we only got redfish and black drum.
I love redfish. Where are you guys located at for everybody out there?
So we're in Bernie, Texas, which is about 30 miles
West.
North of San Antonio.
Northwest, west, north. Yeah, same difference.
It's in the hill country of Texas.
Texas is all flat. It kind of all looks the same. I'm not dogging Texas right any
It is
but it's
not
all flat.
It is not all the same. It is.
Oh, from what I've seen, it's all nice and flat. You can find great liquor stores everywhere, good food everywhere, water towers everywhere, and it's all the same.
Shit ton of deer.
Yeah.
Especially in the hill country and down south.
Especially in the hill country. Shit ton of deer.
Yeah, I went on recruiting visits to Lubbock, and I also went up to Canyon, Texas. That's up in the neck, and I love Texas. I probably should have went to school in Lubbock instead of coming home playing at home in Ogden, Utah.
Could have became a Red Raider.
Yes, sir. They ended up being 18th in the nation the next year when I decided not to go. But the coach that recruited me, he was only there for 1 year, so it was a little bit of a turmoil in that area. But man, I didn't see the campus for 24 hours. That was a heck of a recruiting visit.
Yeah, I bet that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, my grandson just harvested a deer himself this past weekend, so he just brought it over to the store today. We just hung it in the warehouse, and I've got my elk hanging out there. We're going to probably process it this weekend, and we got a couple more cow elk tags for private land here in Utah. So
is that bow hunting, or is it already gun season there?
So the elk hunt's done. That was the rifle season, and then my grandson, he harvested his with his other grandfather. He got him with a 300 Win Mag, perfect shot, 100 yards, dropped him like a rock. So
very nice. Yeah, our rifle season doesn't start till the first week of November.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
there's so many. I mean, Anthony knows this because Anthony's a deer hunter. There's so many seasons in Utah. You almost have to have a master's degree in the internet to try to get the right tag and enter the right draw.
Yeah, the baseline is August is archery, September is your muzzleloader, and then October is your rifle, mixed in with limited entries, youth hunts, and everything else like that. I
was able to draw a limited entry CWMU tag is what I drew. I drew it with 6 points in Utah, and it was like we were in elk every day. We probably saw over 250 elk over the week that we were hunting, and we had a blast.
Nice.
You gotta love it when you see that.
So if you guys want to ever come up and shoot a mule deer that if you miss the first round or the second or the third round, they'll give you a fourth opportunity. They just jumped about 5 yards. So whitetail, you move, they're gone.
Well, down here if you live down here, you can get a super combo, which is $68, and you get 6 tags.
Yes.
For does and bucks. That includes your
two bucks and 4 does and fishing license.
Salt and fresh. $68.
That'll fill the freezer, and those are all whitetails y'all are hunting, right?
Yes, sir.
And axis.
And axis, but
axis you can hunt year round.
Yep.
See how mean they are. They're teasing us with the axis. That's probably the best wild game there is on the planet.
I have not harvested an axis yet, but I've heard they are so tasty.
Oh man,
I had an oryx last week. That was delicious.
Yeah, I've had axis once, and I'm an elk fan. I really love elk, but axis is right up there. And I've had whitetail in some sausages and some sticks. I've never had whitetail backstraps or tenderloins. One of these days.
Yeah. Well,
as you know, backstrap is what it is on every animal. It's pretty delicious.
Yeah.
Well, maybe at the end of the season we may ship you something.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That would be amazing.
Yep.
So
I'd love that.
my buddy invited me to go hunting in Illinois. He goes, where I'm located though, it's earn a buck. You have to kill 2 does to get your buck tag.
Oh wow! Well, down here that's a short weekend.
Yeah.
I think it is up there too. If you got to kill 2 doe just to get your buck tag, so it's all good. So, well, let's switch it back from hunting because this isn't a hunting show. This is a barbecue show.
This is whatever we want it to be, Anthony.
You know what? You're right, Jesse. You know what? Yeah,
barbecue, right. bourbon, barbells, bullets, bows, whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah,
I like it.
As long as we cover meat and fire at some point, we're good.
I'll tell you what. best way to cook some backstrap is reverse sear it.
On the barbecue.
Get some smoke on it. Give it a little smoke bath, about an hour, about 150 degrees. Pull it off. Turn that pit all the way up to 550 degrees on the GMG. Get that nice sear going, or even on the sear box to the side. You can do the side sear now. Sear it off minute and a half, maybe a side, because I cut my back straps over an inch thick, and I can't wait to break those out because they're aging right now, and we're going to process the rest of the stuff. And you guys ever process?
I like that pattern. That sounds really tasty, actually.
Have you guys ever mixed like any of your, like when you're doing your ground? You ever mixed some of your stuff with smoked bacon?
No, I have not.
Nah, mostly pork fat.
Yeah.
Pork fat, and we've always done our elks with beef fat, but I'm gonna grind this with some apple smoked frozen up bacon this weekend. We're gonna process that rest of the elk this weekend, and I can't. Anthony, yeah. I may bring you some back straps. I don't know, maybe if I'm feeling generous.
I would love that. I haven't had any elk back straps for a really long time, but I was gonna ask you guys, since we're talking about this. I have friends over. Let's just say we have a deer backstrap. Are you guys saving that as a whole loin, and maybe smoking it, cutting off your steaks and searing them off, or you guys got to pre-slice them and then just serve them as just a loin steak? I personally would serve it almost like a pork loin, smoke the whole thing, slice it off, and then sear it over fire after you reach the desired temperature. But what are your guys' opinions on this theory?
Yeah, that's how I like to do it. I like to smoke it whole and then cut it into the individual steaks afterwards, sear them, and then serve them.
I kind of agree.
The last time I did one, I cut it open all the way across, lengthways, unrolled it basically, and stuffed it with all kinds of good nummy nums. Re-rolled it.
No, what did you stuff it with? Tell us what you stuffed it with. Come on now.
That's a barbecue secret right there.
Hey, don't let him fool you. He's getting old. He just don't remember.
That may be true. But re-rolled it and tied it up and then smoked the whole thing for like 3 hours. And it turned out amazing.
I have some buddies up in Montana, and they I think between him and his son, they get 6 tags on some private land that they manage for a guy out of Texas, some attorney out of Texas. But anyway, they have so much elk in their freezer they can never go through it. So they bring me down like a cooler full of elk almost every year.
Nice.
And for elk camp, I took up backstraps and tenderloins, and they were all whole muscles, about 4 to 6 inches each. And I made those for lunch one time for the guys up at elk camp. And these are guys that, they get wild game constantly. And I did some reverse seared. We made some street tacos out of it. And they were like dying because I put W sauce on it. I put some Big Johnson's beef on it. And I put some Cosmos prime steak dust on it. And they were just like, wow, how does this taste like this? And I'm like, fellas, you got to learn how to cook.
That's this guy over here. I'm like, hey, let's do a ribeye steak. He says, what do you want to put on? I said, salt and pepper. He goes, no, hey, hang on. I got this stuff. And he busts out 8 bottles of stuff. And we mix it together, put it on there. And I'm like, okay, tell me the stuff. He goes, no.
Wow. Even your teammate won't even tell you this
Oh
stuff.
man.
Well, I watch him, but I'm drinking, so I'm not paying attention.
Right.
Par
So
for the course.
just so for people that are never got into wild game meat and possibly has got some, like Jesse's gonna bring me some. I haven't harvested in who knows how long because barbecue took over my life. But for backstrap, a lot of people prefer like a rare. We're talking 125 to 130. Medium is 130 to 135. It's just everybody kind of knows that. Where do you guys prefer? Are you guys on the rare side, or are you guys going to push it a little bit to get it to a medium? What is your
No, we're more on the rare side.
Especially with venison. Definitely don't want to do anything. In our opinions, more than rare with venison.
Yeah. It's a little more tender when you go rare. You go a little more medium. It gets a little tougher, a little more chewy. So we do a little more to the rare side.
Right. I made the ones up at Elk Camp, but they were medium rare because the guys wanted a little bit more doneness. But I'm like, I have a hard time going into the medium and past medium. Is like, it's gotta be pink. Let's make it tasty,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And tender.
And tender. That's the big one. I don't want to sit there and chew my meat for half an hour.
Right.
Right. And then what are you guys doing for prep on wild game? Because here in Utah, the mule deer stuck on the sage in the morning, and get that really wild gamey taste. Are you guys use the old traditional grandma methods, soaking it in buttermilk? Or what are you guys doing on, helping that gamey taste to somebody who doesn't like that flavor?
I have done the buttermilk method a couple of times for the wife and granddaughter at home, and it does change the flavor for them, and obviously it changes flavor for me. I prefer that wild game taste myself.
But I got to tell you, if you're hunting down in Texas and you're hunting whitetails, most of them are all fed from a feeder, protein and corn. So they don't have a wild game flavor to it.
Not bad at all.
It's a slight hint. It's not like a muley out of Colorado or something that is so gamey, And then you really got to do a lot of neat stuff to it, a little vinegar bath in it, some buttermilk. And then of course your seasonings bring out a ton of it.
Well, the people don't realize is that you really have to get the gaminess, not get into the meat, is to get that hide off that animal, get it cooled off as soon as you possibly can. Yep. And that's the biggest part. Like if it doesn't get the hide off of it and it stays too warm too long, that's where the gaminess come in, especially with mule deer,
Well,
it's all
Jesse,
in the preparation and the preparation of the meat.
It's the prep of yourself too.
Correct.
Going out there and taking target practice, making sure you're going to make a clean shot, make sure you're going to be able to do a clean kill shot. Especially when it comes to archery, you got to have confidence in your shot to make sure that's going to be quick and clean, right?
And deadly. You got to be deadly.
Yeah, if you gut shot it, it's going to ruin the whole thing. Might as well get the grinder out and make burger out of it. Exactly, or jerky.
Yep,
so you got to prep yourself going into harvesting wild game that it's going to be quick and clean. That's the advantage of rifle hunting. Like you said earlier in the podcast, it dropped like a ton of bricks, right? That's probably going to be clean. It's going to be a very delicious meal. But archery, sometimes if you don't make that clean shot, that mule deer is going to run 200-300 yards and pump adrenaline into it, and it's going to be a little bit different.
The adrenaline element, that'll kick it up quite a bit. I did because my wife is an absolute animal lover. I did give my elk a warning shot, and then he stood there and said, "Please send one more over." And
I had to oblige at that rate.
And he just and when I hit him, he just dropped like a ton of bricks because I'm shooting a 300 Win Mag with a 200 grain bullet, so he just dropped. So it was a very ethical kill. So very ethical.
I give you respect and props for giving him a warning shot. I do not.
I got hugs from my wife because I did that. So I'm gonna take those hugs all day long.
The last 3 deer that I've harvested with my bow, the farthest that one that ran was 50 yards. 50? But then again, but then you got to think again at that time, like I said, with prepping yourself, I was shooting in the range 50, 60 arrows a day because I was fortunate enough to work for Hoyt Archery. We had an archery range for lunch, right? That's what I did. So I was very confident in my shots. My third shot, my little sister was with me, and she's like, "Did you hit it?" Yeah. I turned around and I was like, "We're just waiting for it to die." Like I was that confident in my shot just because I and you know, it's just that's the prep work you have to do. You know,
you do.
There's people that go out there and buy a bow that don't know what they're doing, and they're knocking down 3, 4, 5 animals because they're doing terrible shots and they're not able to recover them. So it's just,
if I was to do archery, I would need a 5-yard shot.
50 yards is pretty impressive for a bow, for sure.
Well, Anthony, I mean, because you and I are both Hoyt fans. I love my Hoyt. I love my Easton arrows. I mean, but I'm putting at 110 yards. I'm putting a 5-arrow group inside a pie plate at 110.
Yeah,
I'm not going to take a 110-yard shot. For me, I've got to be inside 110. I mean, inside 60 for myself, and and I got a brand new right eye, so now I can really see my target.
Brand new right eye, huh?
Brand new right eye.
I like it.
Brand new lens. I can see it's 2015 because I was 2100 at one point.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just I just want people to understand that if you get into the wild game stuff, just make sure that you practice and put in the work to make it ethical. You know, and
practice.
It helps your hobby and it helps your harvest as well. And this goes anything from if you're gonna go out there and go bunny blasting, make sure it's quick and clean. And if we know that cottontails taste amazing if you can get that done. All the way up to a bison or moose. Just make it quick, make it clean, and make sure that you can get the best product out of it.
Get an ethical hunt. Exactly.
Yes, sir. Because I took the elk at 344, and that was a chip shot for some of the distances the guys are taking the elk at now, especially with these high powered rifles. I mean, I watched a buddy of mine take one at 1,000 yards with a 338 Lapua, and it dropped right on the spot. So it was an ethical harvest. So
yeah, but he knew what he was doing as well, right? He put the practice in and put the time in to do it. So that's all I'm saying.
Thing. Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
But all right, so outside of the wild game, boys, what's your favorite thing to cook? I mean, and let's ask. Here's the other question we got to ask him, Anthony. What are y'all cooking on?
Well, we have a lot of things we cook on.
Yeah, we do. We actually have a few.
Yeah, we have a Rectech pellet smoker. We have my granddad's old stick burner. It's like 50-some years old.
We have the old school Weber 24-inch
propane grill, Blackstone, and then we have an open pit, which we love cooking. That's how
that's been very, very fun to cook on.
Our tomahawks, we've been hanging those over direct fire, and that is fabulous.
That's how I learned how to do barbecues, open pit. And my family's from my mother's side of the family is from Picayune, Mississippi. So whenever I went down south, my grandfather passed away when I was like 4 years old. So whenever I'd go down south, he had 9 brothers, and at 11 years old, I was taller than all my great uncles. So they'd snatch me up from my parents and go, "Come on, Yankee boy, we're gonna learn you today." We go do crawfish. We go get shrimp right off the dock. We do crab boils, and then we did a lot of whole hogs. So I'd probably done two dozen hogs by the time I was 21. So that's what started me down my barbecue journey myself. And then and I can't wait. We are releasing a brand new offset made here in Utah that you can't get. I mean, all the pits that you get around here they're over $5,000, and we're going to be able to present a 24 by 48 inch chamber with 2 shelves for under $5,000 in Utah.
Nice.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, can't wait.
Out of all those grills that you named, I say this time and time again, that Weber kettle is probably the strongest smoker you have. You can grill on that. You can smoke on that. You can make the best wings on that thing. That thing is so underestimated. But I try to tell people so much. And there's a reason why they've been around. That's why you can always find them.
Years.
Yeah. There's a reason why you can find them. Jesse, you need to carry a Weber kettle inside your store. You need to get that Weber contract and carry the kettle because that is a strong smoker.
They're at all the big box stores. So I've got.
They are. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. I've got Hunsaker coming in. We got Hunsaker drums coming in. We got an order of drums coming in. Like that's like an upgraded WSM, and you can
that's awesome.
do a lot more with it, and it just purrs like a kitten.
Wow.
All right, so we have you guys here though on the show. You guys drink bourbon. You barbecue. I want to hear you guys' I want to hear a recipe with your barbecue sauce with using bourbon. I know there's one in development. I know you've made one. What is a good bourbon sauce?
That's this guy. He'll give you. He's the brains of the operation. I'm just the drinker and the barbecuer.
You're the face.
He's the talent.
He's the talent.
I'm the good-looking guy, and he's the brain.
That's the
I feel you. I feel you exactly. I know how you feel, brother.
Give him one of the bourbon recipes that you've made.
It doesn't have to be precise, just what are some ingredients that go into it?
Stuff. Of course, we do a lot of different barbecue sauces with bourbons, and other whiskeys.
Oh yeah, we
like
have
one of our favorite ones is actually that we do comes from a Tennessee sipping whiskey, Jack Daniels, but it's the barrel strength, barrel proof, single barrel proof.
There you go.
And it's delicious. Of course, most of that cooks out of it, but it's anywhere from 124 to 134 proof. And but that flavor that it leaves behind is so amazing. So
tell us the sauce. How do you make the sauce, son?
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to look back on some of our videos and you might find it.
All right. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, they're growing their viewership right now, Anthony.
The barbecue sauces, most of the sauces we make are typical tomato-based barbecue sauces. We have done some Carolina sauces, with the mustard and stuff, but
we've done that sweet sauce with what was it, Rebecca Creek brown sugar bourbon or whatever it was. I don't remember exactly what it was called.
And a lot of mushroom sauces. Most all the sauces we make have bourbon or a whiskey of some sort involved with it because of the flavor that it brings to it. It takes it, just another level of flavor that goes into it.
Yep. Layers.
The more layers you can get, the more it's going to enhance whatever you're putting on.
Yes.
And as you guys know, being the gurus that you guys are in the barbecue world.
Holy crap. Yeah, I thought we were just coming on some podcasting until the intro came in, and I'm like, oh, wow.
See, I did the research, so I already knew, but, Graybeard over there.
Well, I had to work today and yesterday and the day before, so.
Like he hasn't known about this for a month. Anyway. The different seasonings and stuff that you put on, we have our own AP that we make, the salt, pepper, garlic. But that's our base for everything that we.
But salt, pepper, garlic. You guys are missing something. You're from the South. You got to have onion in your rubs. So we call people used to call
we put that all by itself on there.
Yeah, and then we have our rub that we introduce. We do our rubs without salt. So that we can control the amount of salt. And sometimes we buy. There's some great rubs out there that we use that we buy.
We bought a few great rubs.
But all the rubs that we do make and that we do use, we use without salt because we use our AP on everything as the base layer first.
Gotcha. Because we used to, nice Woodruff. My beef rub is probably the number one selling rub in my store by a long shot. We sold 4,000 bottles last year.
Nice.
What's the name of that rub?
Yeah, I'll send you some of that rub. And we used to call it the SPOG, was the OG rub. But salt, pepper, onion, and garlic, and people go, "Is that Spog?" So we renamed it just an OG beef rub, and man, that's the base for anything I do for eggs, for potatoes, but definitely anything wild game, anything beef. It's like the base, and you just kick flavors up on top of that. Anthony, somebody came in the store this week, and they were asking about something you guys reviewed, and I didn't see the review. Something that tastes like ranch. What was the name of that?
Oh, the crane attraction.
The what?
The crane attraction.
Crane. Okay.
Yes. They're Trump My Rump is the name of the barbecue team, and they came up with their own ranch seasoning. Brandon was the developer of that, and his wife Caitlin.
Are they
You know,
available? Can we bring them in
Oh,
as
yeah.
a wholesale?
Yeah, they would love that because this dude, Jesse, I put this
I wanna
on some
try it.
smoked Cheez-Its. Holy
Yeah.
shit, it was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, he used apparently so let's break it down. Brandon, he is like one of the number one ancillary cooks in the nation. He's always making
And where's he
finals.
out of?
They're Alabama. I do
Roll
believe.
Tide.
But so he was always using ranch, you know, and they had to come up with, you know, a recipe. I can't remember exactly what it was, but what you couldn't include ranch in it. So he actually ended up making his own ranch seasoning to make it taste like ranch, and then was able to, and he won a golden ticket that way. So this stuff is good. I highly recommend. I'll put you in contact with her so you can get that in the store.
We digress. Apologize, fellas.
No,
It was
no, it's
like
all good. No,
somebody
'cause-
come in the store was like hunting for him. Like, well, I got pit grit. I got a couple different flavors of pit grit that has ranch in it. And they go, no, we're looking for that specific one that Anthony was talking about. I'm like, I'm gonna punch Anthony in the nose when I see him on Saturday. But
no, so we'll get him on there, and then you guys, Rooster and Graybeard, go check out that episode, you know, and they'll give you the full breakdown. It's really cool stuff.
Will do, most definitely.
I'm gonna send these guys some of the seasonings, some of the Big Johnson barbecue flavoring. It's like put a taste of the South in your mouth.
You know, I've never even had any. You know, right here, Jesse, over my shoulder, you can see the bottles of rub.
Yeah.
That is my signature series. Every bottle of those is signed by the creator. I don't have no Big Johnson barbecue rub signatures back here. So I'm just saying.
Well, Afro, you've never asked.
But what I want to talk about cooking with bourbons and whiskeys. Before you answer that question, there's another question you have to answer is, can you tell the people the difference between a bourbon and whiskey? I know, Jesse knows, you guys should know. And then tell me when you guys decide to use a bourbon or a whiskey in your cook.
Oh, you, Bubba.
Right. So, well, to be a bourbon, it has to be at least 51% corn.
Yep.
Has to be aged at least 2 years. Has to be made in the United States. If it's aged over 4 years, then they don't have to have an age statement on it. But anything under 4 years has to have the age statement on it. And there's a lot of different stuff that goes with that. And then the different kind of bourbons, it all depends on, like a wheated bourbon. At first, it's got to be corn, right? And then the second most biggest ingredient in there has to be wheat, right? And then your malted barley, different things like that. So the biggest difference is the mash bill in it. It's got to be 51% corn. That's what makes a bourbon a bourbon. Any kind of whiskey could be anything. So whiskey's a broad term, you know. So you can have Scotch, which is a whiskey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can have Irish, which is a whiskey. You can have Japanese, which is basically a Scotch, but it's a whiskey. So the biggest thing is the mash bill and being at least 51% corn, you know, and aged at least 2 years and only made in the United States. A lot of people think it's only if it's made in Kentucky, which is not true. It can be made anywhere in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
What's y'all's favorite? So individually, what
First
style of whiskey is your favorite?
Before we answer that, we have Marcio in the house. He's a Hog World champion, by the way, just letting you know.
Oh, nice.
And his stuff is moonshine. So, but we won't go into that. We learned not to talk about that, Marcio. It's fine.
And there's only 3 states that you can legally make moonshine in.
But go ahead and answer that question. Ask that question again, Jesse. Sorry.
Yeah, what is your favorite whiskey personally? Each one of y'all.
Oh, that's a hard question.
Come on now, don't try to beat around the bush.
My favorite whiskey, not bourbon, whiskey, all time is cigar malt from Dalmar.
Dalmar, okay.
That's very
Dalmore, yeah.
That is very tasty. I've got a couple. I've got Rebecca Creek Spanish oaked, aged 6 years.
Yeah.
That's a local Texas.
That's
distillery.
a local Texas distillery out of New Braunfels, I believe. It's Bulverde. It's really good. It's very hard to find right now because last time we went to the distillery, they only had 100 bottles left.
Wow.
I do love me a Maker's Mark French oaked. It's difficult for me because I'm a drinker. I'm not a connoisseur like this man here.
So you're not.
Well,
You don't have the chart. How to
Oh,
rate your
chart.
whiskey?
What's the chart? No, I got bottles.
Yeah, I've got bottles. So that behind me is that liquor cabinet behind me is that's.
I know you guys
I
are
got
watching, but you can go back and
250 whiskeys that I have.
He's reaching.
yeah. So I know you're not watching. You can go back and watch this, but Jesse, this is the whiskey wheel. This will tell you.
Shit.
This will tell you everything that the flavors that you're going for. It's going to tell you, if it's nutty, woody, earthy, then break out from there, like earthies.
I don't care. If I like it, I like it. I'm going to drink the hell out of
If
it.
you're going to be a connoisseur like
If
Rooster,
I like
you
it,
have
I
to
like
understand.
it. I don't care what the chart says.
I don't care what the chart says.
The best whiskey
I mean-
you ever drink is the one that you like the best.
Exactly, I agree.
Well,
but
I mean, the Woodruff that you're drinking, I've got a bottle of Woodruff up here
Mm-hmm.
that I absolutely hate. I've got a bottle of
I'm not a
Basil
big
Hayden up
Woodruff
here.
guy.
Basil Hayden had a bottle that I absolutely hate, but the regular Basil Hayden I love. The one I'm trying to find is 15 stars. That's the sherry cask mix. I know it's a little bit pricey, and then that's one I'm trying to find. And then High West has a Midsummer Night's Dram.
I've
That
heard of that one.
I just found a bottle of it. It's $180, and I haven't got the approval from the wife to go buy it.
So this is what I'm going to tell you guys. Yeah, we're talking about American-made whiskey, bourbons, and things like that. There's a company called Amarut. They're based out of India. If you like that peaty flavor,
Ugh, blah, blah.
Yeah, Port Charles, baby. Let's go.
Pete, no,
Yeah,
Pete, I cannot stand that. taste.
some
that
Islay Scotch.
peaty, smoky
I
flavor.
don't-
Pick
yeah.
up a bottle of that.
No.
I'm actually, like I said, I'm a weeded guy, but that Amarut, there's something that hits about it. It's perfect paired with
Yeah.
like a smoky brisket. I'm telling you, it's a game changer when you're eating that salty, peppery brisket for sure.
I would definitely have to try that because I do like the peated scotches.
Do you?
There are some peated single malts out there that are delicious too, but yeah, I definitely see that mixing well.
So
I gave him some pork that one time, and he thought it tasted like Band-Aids.
Yeah, no, I don't like the peat taste to myself.
yeah, I bought
I
a
don't
bottle
either, but
of I bought a bottle of Islay Scotch. It was
No,
Ardbeg Ugenbottle.
Oh, I love Ardbeg.
Oh my god, that was so horrendous. I've got
It's like red leaves. It's delicious.
I just grabbed my cigar ashtray next to it. I licked it. It tasted the same. Tastes the same.
Yeah, it sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Yeah, obviously got to enhance your palate.
My palate? Yeah, I gotta work on my palate.
To increase the palate.
I've got an engineer, a female engineer that trains at my gym, and we'll watch some fight companions once in a while, do the UFC, and I will feed that to her, and she just relishes in it. And I'm like,
Yeah, my daughter loves Ardbeg. That is her favorite scotch.
Oh man,
I got almost 80% of a bottle. So next time you're in town, I'll share.
nice. So I got to hit the rewind button. When it comes to cooking, do you guys prefer the bourbon or the whiskey? I feel like the bourbon's going to give you more of that sugary, aspect
bourbon's
versus.
definitely a lot sweeter.
Yeah,
For sure.
gives you a little bit more flavor in everything that you mix it in.
Yeah.
Because everybody will reach for the whiskey. Most recipes call for the whiskey. Hagrel Haze bourbon or their whiskey peach
Peach, yep.
has Jack Daniels in it.
Yep.
Obviously, Jack Daniels is very popular. Jim Beam's all popular. This is all stuff that you mix with Coke. It's not a whiskey or bourbon.
No, it depends on what Jack Daniels is talking about now.
Yeah, it really depends.
Mixed with Coke. Single barrel proof Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
You put it in a Glencairn.
True.
And you
Yes, sir.
skip that.
true.
Well, and the Gentleman Jack, you don't put that on. Put on Coke.
No, you do not. But after like 6 of them, when you forget what you're doing, you can mix it with Coke.
Yeah, you drink the good stuff for your first couple grams, and then you switch to something cheaper because now the flavor is not there for you anymore.
Exactly.
Your already been
Right.
crucified, So
We went up hunting with a buddy of mine over New Year's. We had in Utah, the cow elk hunt runs through the end of January. We were up there over New Year's. I bring up a bottle of Elijah Craig, a big bottle.
small batch.
That's spicy. He's drinking it with Coke. I'm like, I hit it. I was like, here's your Jack Daniels to go with your Coke. Elijah Craig is not to be mixed with Coke
Amen,
or Diet
brother.
Coke.
Amen.
You can't mix it. Yeah, it's like it's too nice of a whiskey to be drinking with Coke.
Last year, I went out with this guy that I work with, and he drinks Crown and Sprite. It's ridiculously gross. Anyway, I had a bottle of Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, and he ran out. And he's like, "Hey, can I have a glass of that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, here you go." Gave him a good dram. And he goes, "Hey, do we have Coke?" And I told him straight up, "You do not mix that. And if you are, I'm taking it back."
Yeah. Here's the flavor you're gonna get. You're gonna get a 5-knuckle sandwich. Get a little beat down, and you try to mix that.
And going straight to bed.
Well, have you? Gary that works for me, he brought me one of the Crown. What is the blackberry?
I'm not into flavored whiskeys at all. I don't.
But my wife likes them from time to time. I mixed that with lemonade and got her a little tippy this past weekend. That's a good little mix. But yeah, I'm not down with the flavor stuff.
Yeah, no, it's gotta taste like bourbon.
Yep.
And we drink our whiskey.
Yep.
99% of the time.
99% of the time. Every once in a while, we'll add an ice cube or 3 to 5 drops of water.
And there are some that you definitely have to do that with.
Yes, they bring out a lot more flavors.
Well, Hogga Dixon's asking what are your thoughts on rye whiskey, and that's like my go-to is a rye whiskey. If I'm just sipping at home, it's High West Double Rye. I just love that as a little sipper,
Really?
Yeah, we really do enjoy rye. I have a lot of rye. Iron Wicked Rye is a delicious one. It's a little bit on the expensive side.
It's a good one.
But if you want an inexpensive, if you can find it, it's harder to find. But the Pikesville Rye is amazing, but it is definitely difficult to find. But Jack Daniel's Rye is pretty good too.
Yeah. Have you had Jack Daniel's Rye yet?
The barrel proof.
I have. I wasn't a fan of Jack Daniel's Rye.
Ah.
Did you have the barrel proof single barrel?
No.
Because it's way different.
It's way better
than the regular rye.
We've lost Anthony because his palate doesn't go this far.
No, I told you.
It sounds like he's more barbecue and you are more bourbon.
No, definitely not.
No, I'm way more barbecue than he is.
I'm gonna have to agree with John Main here. Redbreast is fantastic product.
Oh yes. Whoa.
So I'm a huge Irish whiskey fan.
Hold on, are we looking at comments coming in because we have not been looking at those?
And good old Graybeard over here, he does not like Irish whiskey.
No, I do not.
With the exception of Redbreast.
Redbreast is delicious.
It is.
It really is.
My son actually went to Ireland, and he brought me back a couple of special bottles with my name on it from what's the main Irish whiskey?
With Irish whiskey was going to Ireland.
Yeah, he brought me.
So I know you guys aren't. I know you guys aren't a fan. I'm sharing a picture right now. They renamed this whiskey. It's used to be called Scandalous, and now they're changing the name. But this is probably one of my favorite flavored whiskeys. It's a cinnamon whiskey. Yeah, it's a cinnamon whiskey based out of here in Utah. But here's the thing. They don't use the fake. It's not like Fireball. It's not like any of those porters or anything like that.
I was ready to say that sounds like Fireball to me.
No, so what they do is they distill the whiskey through vanilla beans and cinnamon sticks. So you get that vanilla bean and cinnamon flavor. Yeah, so you're not going to get that. Trust me, guys. I've drank over a quarter almost a whole bottle of this. I didn't quite have a hangover the next day. It didn't have that.
Where'd you get
sugary
it,
hangover.
Anthony?
Oh, really?
It's from Clearwater Distillery here out of Pleasant Grove, Utah. So,
bring a bottle Saturday.
I don't have the new stuff. I have the
Real
Scandalous, but I'll bring
real
some.
whiskey, no sugar.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. No
perfect.
sugar. So yeah, it's good stuff. If I know you guys are into flavor stuff, but I really like them. I've liked all their products. They have really cool stories behind all their whiskey. They're distilling, but they're not doing a full distillery. They're buying some batch stuff and adding to it. So
you got to start somehow.
Yeah, you got to make your mark somewhere.
Yeah, but it's good stuff. I'll bring some to you guys, Jesse, and then I can work out on seeing if I can get some shipped out to you guys down there, and you guys can give an honest review of it. Like I said, it's not that Fireball stuff. Trust me. Get me in a pinch, I will pound some Fireball. I'll hate it the next morning, but it's fine.
We get Fireball and give it out to all the Halloween trick-or-treater adults.
Oh, did we do that last year? Little Fireball, the little bottles like that. You give.
Yeah.
They're called mini bottles in Utah. That's the way people used to.
Those and Jello shots.
The bars in Utah used to have to serve all their alcohol out of mini bottles. That was 20, 30. That's now I'm talking
you're
about
old,
30,
Jesse.
40 years ago. Yeah, I am.
Hey, up in Canyon, Texas, it's still a dry county there, so you can't buy. There's no liquor stores in Canyon, Texas.
Wow.
Walter's boy went to West Texas A&M in Canyon.
So Canyon, you just go across the county line and you go to the drive up and you walk out two-fisted. They give you little to-go cups. I'm like, that was the strangest thing I ever.
No, dude, when I was in Fort Worth last year, they gave me a roadie. They're like, "Are you driving?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Here you go." I was like, "Oh my god!" I just
to go cups
and take it home. You can go to the local Taco Cabana, which is like a fast food restaurant, and get margaritas to go.
Yeah. I was kind of in heaven. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, yes, I don't have.
The liquor stores in Texas are the best.
Dude, it was a drive up. There was no seats inside. You drove up, ordered your cocktails, and drove away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, buddy.
We got a lot of those down here.
I'm on a 900-mile road trip. I need a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go from Canyon up towards Amarillo, and that's how you.
You go from West Texas to Houston.
There you go. Yeah.
Jesse, this is literally our most off the wall podcast, and I'm loving every minute of it, man. This is awesome.
Hey, guess what? We talked a little bit about barbecue. We talked about wild game. We talked about how to make that and cook that on your smokers, and we had a little bit.
Hey, boys! In your defense, you've never had barbecue and bourbon on your channel before.
It's true. It's true.
That's absolutely
true.
That's
why we're having here.
I've never drank on the podcast either.
Oh, what? We drink every weekend. Well, I guess
this is a Tuesday night, guys. This is a Tuesday night.
I guess it's Tuesday, but we're filming, so we're drinking.
There we go.
Cameras on, we're drinking.
Yeah. So
you guys ever tried any of this new riff single barrel?
Can you hold that up for us so the people can see? New Riff single barrel.
What's the brand? What's the brand?
New Riff.
New Riff Distillery. It's I believe it's 114 proof.
It's 116. It's out of Kentucky.
116.
And it's a fairly new brand. They've been around, I think, 15 years. So as far as bourbons and whiskeys go, it's very new.
Oh, it's good. It's good shit, boys.
It is good. They have a great rye.
Yes. We just had the rye last weekend.
It's very good.
All right. So what is it called again?
New Riff. RIFF.
New Riff Distillery.
All right, so here we go. It's bottled and bonded without chill filtration, high rye mash bill, 30% rye, aged 4 years, at least 4 years, and it's 100 proof.
Yep. Well, bottled and bonded means it has to be aged at least 4 years.
Yep.
Yeah,
and it has to be made on. Yeah. Has to be on the premises the whole time. It can't be something that's brought in.
Okay, we're gonna go through some things. Grab that glass. Graybeard, grab that glass. Give it a smell. Tell me if you're picking up on any butterscotch smells or anything like that.
I get butterscotch right off the bat, but on the palate, I get chocolate and cherries.
I get a lot of early picked cherries, like a tart cherry.
And then
Okay.
as it sits in your mouth, it's got a really long finish. And as it sits in there, it develops
that rye burn
spice
on the end.
Yeah.
So no cloves or cinnamon with their stating.
I
on
do
their
not
website.
get cloves.
I don't get cloves or cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
But
All right. See that?
On the nose, I get butterscotch a lot.
I get chocolate.
I get a lot of chocolate and cherries. But
but you guys did say that they got the red and black fruits, which lines up with the cherry flavor. So you guys are picking up on probably a good 50% of what they're stating on this, which is fantastic. That's cool that your guys are picking up on that. So
especially because they're probably 2 glasses in, son.
We're like 6 glasses in. We started with a different bottle of Jack Daniels before that.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, that's the stuff that I like. That's what like teed off. I'm part of some whiskey tasting groups and stuff like that, so I've tasted a lot of whiskeys. But it's just really cool to see that if a company puts out there and states something like that, the actual consumer actually picks up on that product.
Exactly. We've had some whiskeys that we have drank and picked up on different nose notes, tasting notes, and finish notes, and then go in and look at their notes and didn't align at all.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
the thing I like about what we do most is that we're preparing a food and we pick a particular bottle because of a lot of the stuff that has in it that will pair well with our food.
Yeah,
you know,
that is yeah. We do a lot of that.
And the reason we've been doing rye a lot lately is because we went fishing, caught a bunch of drum and reds, and rye is perfect for fish.
It's ridiculously good with fish.
What's interesting is there's a lot of these smaller distilleries that are coming out and coming out with some well, it's all in the South, yet everywhere in the South, because we don't get any of up here in Utah. But oh my gosh, there's like they're selling out 100 cases at a drop-in on a liquor store down south. I'm like, man, I would just wish we're in an area that we could kind of get in on some of that action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's like that Rebecca Creek that Bill Graybeard was talking about earlier.
The Spanish Oak, Rebecca Creek Spanish Oak.
They kind of came by it accidentally. They ordered a whole bunch of new charred oak barrels, and Spanish oak barrels came in. And they're like, what do we do with these? You know, this ain't what we ordered. So they went ahead and aged their whiskey that they had made in it, hence Spanish oak. And it is fabulous. But it was totally by accident that happened to them.
We went on a tour over there, and I ended up buying 3 bottles. I don't know how many you ended up buying. I still have a bottle unopened on my shelf, and I almost opened it for this evening. Thank God I didn't.
Anthony, I think what they're saying is we're gonna have to take a road trip down to their area.
Hey,
there's like 51 different distilleries in Texas.
You make a road trip down here, crazy. We will get together. We will do a barbecue and bourbon episode with you gentlemen on it.
Jesse, do you even know do you even know me? Do you even know me? Road trip to Texas? Hell no, I'm flying.
I'll throw your tiny little butt in the back of the dually.
Across Texas?
Yeah,
it's like a day to 2.5 days to get across Texas.
That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of bourbon between border to border.
I've driven to Pinion, Mississippi from Utah, so I know what a long road trip is.
Hey, you can fly into San Antonio. We'll pick you up. We'll board you.
Okay.
And we'll drink and barbecue.
You know how bad my girlfriend wants to go to San Antonio?
No, I do not. What's your girlfriend's name? I've never met her.
This is Amanda Joe. She is an amazing person. She'll whoop your ass. I'm pretty sure Jesse's might have a little. She might be afraid of her.
I'm not messing with Amanda.
See,
I like that, brother. I've been married 33 years. My wife will kick my ass too.
Yeah, exactly. So
we fly into San Antonio.
Yeah,
we 2 fists some prickly pear margaritas.
Go check out the Alamo.
No,
margaritas with Bill. No, Graybeard does not do margaritas.
We do not do tequila well.
Well, tequila either brings out Rambo or Romeo, and neither one's good.
Yeah. Rambo. Graybeard is Rambo all the way.
Yes. So what we'll do is we'll fly into San Antonio. We'll go check out the Alamo. We'll do the board, or we'll do the river
Do
walk.
the river walk.
And
Done
then
that.
then we'll go to the ranch and cook up some barbecue and drink some bourbon and just make a
And
great
shoot some
evening.
whitetail.
That's it.
Yeah, and shoot some whitetail. Sounds like a great
Nice.
weekend.
Sounds like an amazing weekend.
That sounds like an amazing weekend.
I'm
That's
bringing
like
my
amazing
my bow, son. I'm bringing
Yes,
my
sir.
bow.
Yeah, I'll bring mine too, and we'll knock them out. Maybe we'll.
Well, it'll be
you guys have
rifle season by the time you boys get down here.
You guys have access to killing some hogs? That'd be fun.
Yeah, there's hogs everywhere. Unfortunately.
Everywhere.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Well, all right, guys, we've talked longer than we mostly talk. Mostly.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What,
we try
were
to
you
keep it right
snoring?
around an hour.
Anthony shuts us down at 59 minutes and 58
Yeah.
seconds.
Well, it's just because of the listener, right? You know.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do for your podcast, my friend.
Yes, sir. So thank you again so much. We're going to have you guys on again, and we're actually going to talk more barbecue
Next
time. And then we're going to have another podcast that's going to be bourbon only. Okay.
Oh, we
This
would
is-
love to talk bourbon.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll get that lined up, and maybe we'll make this a quarterly thing with new releases or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But it should be a good time. But
new releases with Rooster and Graybeard.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Because I'm more gray than both of y'all. So
Hey, whoa!
Yeah.
You are actually.
So yeah, go ahead and let's give a shout out to who you want to thank and tell people where to go follow you and all that.
yeah,
good
how
stuff.
they find y'all?
So barbecue and bourbon on all of our platforms. We have Instagram. We don't have Facebook yet because Graybeard ain't figured out how to do it.
I am social.
He's not clear. He's not cleared for Facebook.
It's the book of faces. Everybody can have 4 of them.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
And
so
your,
yeah,
your YouTube content is phenomenal. So
we appreciate that. We have a great time doing it, and we had a great time on your podcast.
Oh, I had a great time this evening.
Much gratitude for bringing us on.
Yeah, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yeah,
You
of
bet,
course,
fellas.
anytime. And yeah, we'll get out of here and we'll enjoy our evening. And then I'm serious. We're gonna talk. We're gonna have you on for some bourbon reviews in the future for sure. So
Very
we'll
nice.
get on there. Yep. All
road
right.
trip.
Yep.
Road
Have a good
trip.
night, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, fellas.
Barbecue and bourbon, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yep.